Pull up a chair and pour a glass. Got stories that are built to last. Yeah, we're the old-fashioned dads.
So, like 3 years ago, I bought a Christmas suit off of Amazon, but the measurements were all weird because, like,
Made it
well, it was like
not from
made for
here?
Asian people,
Yes.
like tiny little Asian men. And so I bought it 4 times too big, and it was like, then it turned it was like a fat man suit. So then I took it to a tailor, and she's laughing at me. She's like, what the hell is this? And I was like, can you make this fit, please? And she did a really good job, but she took out so much fabric. And she's like, she shows me a bag. She's like, look how much fabric I took out.
So what size did you order?
Like
6XL?
4XL or something.
Just this freaking V at the end of it when you're done. Like,
Oh, wait, by the time I was done, it was tapered. It was nice.
did the pattern match or?
Some spots did not,
Okay,
but she
fair
did a valiant effort at making it look okay.
Well, I guess when you're ordering online, you never know what you're going to get. So,
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so episode 2.
episode 2.
I'm
Welcome.
Justin.
I'm Trevor.
Welcome to Old Fashioned Dads. Holy crap.
Thank you to everyone who's already listened to the first one, and welcome to the second one.
That was an interesting week of feedback, and
It was fun. We like the feedback. Keep it coming for all those that reached out to us.
it was good. And looking at that, like watching, like I don't know who, like I didn't share it with anybody from the States. Did you?
I don't think so.
Yeah, and there's just whoever is this one user from the States. Thank you. It just says United States 1.
Thanks to everybody, but yes,
specifically that guy.
It's cool to see that.
I want that guy to reach out to us and be like, I want to know how you found the podcast. It's like how you got there. Yeah, okay. But yeah, thank you to everybody that has shown an immense support for something that was a joke at one point that has now evolved into this.
It's a fun hobby. And we get to drink old fashions, and
I don't complain about that after a tough day at work where I may or may not walked around the block to cool off. It's a good way to cap off the day.
It's a nice refresher. Well, do we want to start off by what we're having here tonight? You built it. You talk about it.
Okay. Yeah. So, well, I guess we can just say the co-op. We went to the co-op, and because I actually went specifically looking for bitters, because everywhere you go always just has Augustina.
Just the regular Augustina.
Correct. Well, no, then they have
or whatever it's called.
Did I say it wrong?
I don't know how to pronounce it. It's just bitters, but it's just like there's the regular brand or regular type you see everywhere in the bars, but looking for specific flavored bitters, they're tough to come by.
And the co-op, when I went there, had probably 35 different bitters, and so that was very interesting and unique. Being that I think in Montreal, last May we had a bartender in Old Montreal that was, he had like piri, like Indian bitters. Yeah, it was crazy, and he had like turmeric bitters, and he made them all himself. And so I told him. I asked him, I said, okay, like he had cocktails in the past that he had made with them, but he wanted to, what I wanted him to do, was that I said, just make me one of these cocktails. And it is the most overpowering, strange cocktail you'll ever have. One and done type deal, but it is unique beyond unique.
Like with curry bitters or turmeric,
I can't remember which one, but it was a very Indian spice. I can't remember.
What type of cocktail did you have in it with?
I think it was gin or vodka, and he was just like the fucking.
So he was guessing.
He looked fairly intentional, so I don't know if he was just, this was the bathtub mixture that he was like, oh, this asshole from Saskatchewan is here, I might as well screw with him. It may or may not have had any alcohol.
He's from Saskatchewan. He'll drink anything.
Yes, exactly. He loves Pilsner. I can tell.
All right. So you bought some
Mm-hmm.
bitters.
So I got some new bitters. To shout out these brands, always Buffalo Trace.
Yes,
that is
seems to be your go-to.
That is my go-to. I think after I'm done explaining the cocktail, I'd like to talk a little bit about specifically Buffalo Trace, just because it's absolutely my favorite. We have, I don't what the brand name is. It doesn't say the brand name. It just says it's just the logo, actually. Product of France. B18 bitters, imported to Toronto. Nevertheless, so I got cherry gentian bitters, and then a pre-made simple syrup this time, from Social Syrup, which is, I'm going to show these people out. Oh, also from Toronto. I don't know if we should be promoting things from Toronto.
Yeah, it's Toronto. It's whatever.
Fucking Toronto. And then Buffalo Trace. And then I guess the wood chips, that was new. That I did not put over here in our little section.
Fog hat, I think.
Fog hat.
And it was a mix of wood chips, wood shavings, and
flour. Was flour on there?
No, flour was it? Well, flowers, dried flowers.
Flowers.
Yeah.
When you were reading it, I heard flour. I'm like,
dried.
All right, I guess we're smoking some flour. So yeah, so that's what I 2 ounces of, and then of course these sour cherries, which are just President's Choice sour cherries.
The
one that your wife found.
Yeah, but they're not the sour cherries. They're the why can't I think that?
See, now we need to have these things around us, otherwise we're just
maraschino. It's the Luxardo brand or whatever, the maraschino cherries, but they're not the sour cherries.
Okay, like we had at your house.
Yeah, that gives it a cool look and color, but just when you bite into it at the end, it's not quite the same as the maraschino.
Listen, by the end, they are soaked in booze, and I'm okay with it.
Wow, soaked in booze, sour cherries, just not quite the same.
Yeah, so 2 ounces of Buffalo Trace, 1 large round ice cube. Thank you, Dollar Store, for those molds.
And simple syrup. How much simple syrup did you put in?
Half an ounce. Yeah. I always, especially when I have a new bourbon, I always err on the side of less on the beginning, because I find that especially the pre-made ones, sometimes they're just sweeter than you're anticipating. So starting out with half, which everybody's got a different ratio. Some like 2 ounces of bourbon, 1 ounce of simple syrup. I find that to be too much.
I usually do, when I'm making my old fashions, I'm about 1.5 ounces to 2 ounces of bourbon and about 3/4 an ounce of simple syrup is typically how I do it. But I'm usually, for the most part, I'm making my own simple syrup, which is a 1-to-1 ratio of what I make it at. Yeah. So we didn't get quite into it last time. We ran out of time, but
self-imposed time.
Yes.
We will try to, I think it's important too, we'll try to keep these an hour.
Yeah.
I imagine if we start getting guests or other things that it might teeter. And hey, I might get on a rant about politics.
You get on a rant?
You'll have to
rein you in.
You'll have to rein me in. You're quite good at that. I'll give you that.
I do my best.
Out of most of my friends, you have a unique ability to rein me in somehow. So
how I guess let's, before we get on to the next one, what do you think of this cocktail? Still a little bit of smoke on the top on mine. We typically do it smoked old fashions. Do you just make them without smoke, or?
Yeah, if I do, it's pure out of laziness. I'm like, okay, I just need a cocktail. But that's a funny thing too, because for some reason I like to just have bourbon on the rocks, like my go-to drink if I'm coming home. See, It's funny. This is ADD in me, but it's like if you ever watched Mad Men, the show,
Yes.
he was always making cocktail. The first thing he did when he came home, he's dapper and he's in a suit. And I'm not saying I'm doing that to be more like that character, John Hamm's character, but I do like to come home and just, rather than getting into all the kid stuff, straight to sports, straight to homework, do your chores, talk about the day. I'm like, listen,
You need an unwinder
daddy needs 15 minutes
with some daddy juice.
and just needs to decompress, because my job, just like yours, there's a lot of talking, and it can become a little much that you get home and you're just expected to you gotta talk to the wife, you gotta talk to the kids, you're on all day. And
Well,
now
you don't have to, but they look at you weird if you don't. But like, to each their own.
Exactly. So I do like to just have an ounce or two on the rocks to kind of decompress.
So did you start into bourbon before you got into old fashions, or you were into old fashions before you got into bourbon, or it was just
so I had
blends?
I've tried a series of cocktails over the years. I think like
Yeah,
you had talked about, you from where we're from in Canada, you start with a Caesar. It's pretty much your go-to, just because it's fairly flavorful. And different places have different garnishments, so you're like,
yeah, well, like I said, we'll talk about that
yes, for sure,
later in a little bit more depth. But
yeah, so I had just been trying different cocktails over the years, and I had been a beer guy or a rye guy. I went on a kick where I had just had Jack and Coke. So I wouldn't say that I got really into cocktails until, and I'll credit, I listened to a lot of podcasts, and I had heard Joe Rogan always talking about Buffalo Trace, and I'm like, whatever. Like, but
if Joe Rogan says it, I gotta buy it.
Exactly, the cliche behind it. But ultimately, everybody seemed fairly positive on it. And then I can't remember if I just Googled it. I was like, do we even have this in Canada? And sure shit, we did. And so I said, fuck it, I'm gonna buy it. And then I remember at first mixing it with pop, like Coke, like it was a whiskey. No, because I hadn't actually sunk into what bourbon is or what alcohol was.
Sure.
By the time I started drinking that, I was still like, booze is booze. You make it, it's a Jack and Coke. This is kind of like whiskey.
You did it for the effect and not so much the taste. The taste was second to the effect.
And then, yeah, I'd had a few, but then ultimately, like probably when I met you, I had liked it. So the rare times that I had it, I've always enjoyed it.
So you're saying it's my fault that you're hooked on old fashions?
Yes, 100%.
All right, fair enough.
If Jesus. No, well, let's we can blame the Hotel Saskatchewan.
Okay, fair enough.
Actually, it's their fault. Because so that was the first place that we had started like prioritizing it, I think.
Sure.
It's like I don't think we really even,
it's tradition at that point.
Now
and realistically, shout out to them. I'd say they have the best old fashioned in the province.
Ooh,
that's
a bold claim.
That is a bold claim. That's what I'm saying right now. Haven't tried them all, but as of right now, I'd say all around. We'll talk about points, ranking, and all that later. But at this point, I'd say, and I mean, hard not to get hooked on one when you're having one of the best ones. Is your starting point.
I don't want to agree with you because I like to be a contrarian when it comes to
really,
a little bit of troll, a little bit of like sprinkle in the like.
There's no sprinkle.
Controversy.
There's no sprinkle. It's full bore.
Full bore.
I thought you had some in Calgary or Edmonton.
Yeah, but it was very moderate. Like I would enjoy.
Oh, so you drink more because you're doing it with me. I see.
Facts are facts. Trevor.
All right, fair enough.
No, damn it. No, it was like I didn't really have one particular cocktail. I just had occasionally enjoyed cocktails, and as I've gotten older, you know, my dad worked in a lot of restaurants, so I've always been food orientated. Like I've been cooking since I could walk, out of necessity. When your dad works in the restaurant industry, it's they're not as home.
He's feeding other people, and you need to
He
feed yourself.
really
so
liked feeding
happens,
other
yeah.
people. And when he cooked for us, it was fantastic. I have zero problems. I don't think I can recall a dish that my dad ever made where I was like, well, this guy shouldn't cook. So I was very lucky and fortunate that I grew up in a household that encouraged the social aspect of eating. And then from that, for a long time, I generally thought, I'm like, yeah, I'm probably just, when you're 17, you're like, what the fuck am I going to do with my life? I'm like, and I definitely never thought I'd ever enter construction ever. And I was like, I'm going to be a police officer. And even as an adult, almost a 17-year-old, I was like, it's like I was very undecided. And I was like, well, I'm going to be a chef. That seems fun. My dad is, I'd love to cook. I know it. And so I've always really
Make
enjoyed
a mean craft mac. So
pardon me.
I make a mean craft mac. So I'm take that show on the road.
You know what? Fucking everybody's got that one thing.
That's it.
And everybody's got, if you say you're a foodie or you say, what you're like, I would say that of everything I've had of your wife's, her salsa is immaculate. And I, there's plenty to keep trying from your wife, but I mean, like, just the salsa itself is like, that woman's got salsa down pat.
Fair enough. So anyways, back to reining you in. And the old fashions.
So the cocktails always associated food. I'd always spent a lot of money and sought out good food, whether it was tasting menus or tasting evenings with 7 courses paired with different cocktails. And that's how it started. I didn't enjoy cocktails on their own until after.
So you started with the food, and the cocktails were kind of,
and then
were a bit of an afterthought.
Yeah, and I didn't realize that the cocktails themselves were a part of the meal, as we've talked about. And many people have brought up your terrible opinions on wine and food.
They're not
pairings.
Terrible. They're right.
They're definitely
everybody's entitled to their own opinion. But
you should like, this is what you need to do. Go home, Dear Diary.
No, I don't. Dear Diary. This is Dear Diary.
I Googled what goes with certain wines.
Google. What does Google?
AI.
What does Google know?
So that's how it started. That's honestly how it started. And then meeting you, we've said this and we will continue to say this. Getting to know somebody changes over cocktails. And if you have somebody who enjoys an old fashioned, I generally
want to meet them.
I've yet to meet a person who actually is like, I like old fashions and here's why. And they've done the minimal amount of effort to understand the cocktail. I haven't looked at any of those people and been like, I don't ever want to see you again.
So you're saying by drinking an old fashioned and having that persona, the madman, the dapper, it carries a persona with it, and you want to represent that. But your Bob Ross shirt is kind of creeping me out.
Listen, this Christmas,
the hair on your shirt is like.
I can't wait to wear this to my Christmas party. Yeah, the older I've gotten, the more I've appreciated that the image of what I think men are. I don't think I want everything to go back to be the 1950s, although there are aspects of the 1950s that I think are good values.
Well, yes and no. I mean, we got to careful how we say that. There's certain things, like, in my opinion, I think we should bring back the 3-piece suit, right?
Mm-hmm.
That, like, we've gone too casual in are in everyday life, like people wearing pajamas to the mall or whatever. Like what happened, like when you go out, you get dressed up. So I'm all for bring back the 3-piece suit. Today I went and got, my hair cut a little bit, beard trimmed, and I'm thinking, I'm like, what should be more popular? And I'd like to do it again, but beards are popular, so kind of be tough for it. But like, have you ever had a hot shave?
So yes, but my skin is so sensitive that I can't. A razor has not touched my face since I was 15.
Fair enough. I've done it once, and it
I
was
love it.
phenomenal.
Oh yeah, big time.
And
Love it.
you like you when you see all the older movies where they're in a suit and everybody's at the barber shop and that's their hangout, that's their Tim Hortons catching up on the day to day, and you going in there, get cleaned up, read the news, hot shave, haircuts. So not saying that needs to be done every day, but that aspect I think is important. Try and bring back something like that. And I'm guessing that's where you're going with that.
But it's not even. It's like I think that every generation has something or some characteristic that has a value, and I don't think I want a world where men have to be this uber hard, disciplined, 3-piece suit wearing, manly of a man, because I think it's different for everyone. Like me and you are very different men in a lot of ways, but we're very similar in a lot of ways.
Sure.
When it
like
comes
old
to,
fashioned, so I mean,
it's what a great
really, that's
opportunity to share something together that has had this this profound effect. But no, I just, there's a lot of things that when it comes to men, I think that are good, but are slowly getting lost. It's like, I don't want my kid to get into fist fights, but my kid's never been in a fight yet.
I've never been in a fight in my life other than breaking some up, but
I'm not. I don't want it to come off and sound like I'm being a proponent of violence. And
I know what you're saying. Like if my kids when they were younger, some of them got into scuffles, and it's somebody was bullying their friend and they stuck up for them. Once again, not that we're condoning getting into a physical altercation with somebody, but at the same point, standing up for your beliefs and letting people know. And I mean, it's okay to disagree, but at the same point, if somebody's being picked on and they're out there by themselves, it's okay for somebody else to step in and stand up for them as well.
For sure. And I think I have a lot of old school values as well as new ones that may surprise a lot of people probably. But, for me, it's a very hard topic to explain to somebody. And, there are a lot of people and podcasts that try to do it in their own way. And, something that always resonated with me was Jordan Peterson, who I'm a huge fan, tons of books, listen to him constantly. One of the things that he says and that he's a proponent of is like, learn how to be a monster, a killer, but learn how to control it. Yeah, I don't know what that fucking dog is outside. Nobody can hear that dog. It's definitely disruptive. Sounds like a dog's getting murdered outside my house.
Definitely does.
Yeah, we're just gonna not address that. But no,
we just did.
But Jordan Peterson really advocates like the qualities that I think are apparent and that should be prevalent in men. What the thing that separates you from being a man is that you also learn how to control it, and you learn how to, like, it's one thing to be stern and powerful, but you don't need to be a dickhead about it. And that's where, like, taking the whole term alpha is like, I think it gets, the hyper feminist perspective of that is that, well, any man that's alpha is somehow toxic. And it's like, there definitely is some, for sure. I'm not
sure there is, but it's
the law of averages.
It's too easy to paint someone or everyone with broad strokes.
Sure.
I mean, there's exceptions to every rule. I get what you're saying, and I agree.
But if you have
there's
somebody that's highly charismatic and that would be labeled as alpha, what are you getting? Are you getting a person uncomfortable with the fact that they're not like that? Or is that person being actually toxic about the values that they have?
without having a specific in mind, it's hard to.
No, I know. But again, over the last couple of years, we've had a few interactions with quote unquote alphas.
Sure. Yeah.
Especially one very prevalent story, whilst, I guess, running for politics like I did.
Yeah.
And having somebody who's very used to being quote unquote alpha, controlling the room and bullying, and that's the go-to, to stand up to somebody in a way that's respectful but stern and not get taken advantage of. I feel that's the key to discover who is toxic about being masculine and who is just using it as a front to bully to get their way.
Yeah. I don't know if all those characteristics necessarily go together. I mean, somebody can be charismatic and not have that alpha bullying mentality, and vice versa. Typically somebody that's going to have that more of that bullying
Nature,
if you will, isn't going to have the same charisma as somebody who doesn't.
mm-hmm.
Right? They're trying to prove something. So, that's.
So then when you when you look at your own boys, what do you in that realm, what do you hope from them? That they are going to grow up to be men wearing 3-piece suits with those values, or an evolution of that?
The 3-piece suit is something I like. I mean, you know me, I like to get dressed up. I like the fancy stuff. I have a very unique style, but I do like to get dressed up.
I have to concede that even my spouse is like, God, I can't wait to see what Trevor's dressed in. And I'm like, can you not say that out loud? It's hurtful.
At least when I'm not here.
I'm sorry, I'm wearing a t-shirt again, honey. Like, normal shirts don't fit me. Sorry.
What do you mean? You found a great tailor that takes a million layers of fabric out to make some.
Doesn't look right.
$20 Amazon suit fits.
Although shout out to Anthony's for hooking both of us up.
Yes.
Very well in clothing.
Very nice stuff. I like spending money there. So, and you know my 3 kids, they each have their own unique style. So, if, me as a dad, I have certain values that I want to instill in them. But I'm not like pounding it into them or anything like that. You need to do this, you need to do that. They need to find out who they are. And part of that is like, you're seeing it right now as your kids grow up and what type of music they like. Like you got your kids are on.
Motherfucker, I came home today. He comes home from the gym and he's all in a good mood. He's like, Dad, I'm super swole. I'm like, well, all right, bro, calm down. You're 14, chill. And he's like, and he's singing a D12 song.
I don't know what that is.
Well, D12 was a band that came out circa 2008. That was, the frontman was Eminem. Nevertheless, he's like, have you ever listened to D12? I'm like, bitch, D12 came out when I was your age, motherfucker. Of course I listened to D12, but it was just like, but you can see it that they're, and that's a struggle for me, because how much nurture versus individuality that me and my son struggle with, because he is very, very much my kid. And I thought that would be something that I could relate to. But I find that there's a lot of times that we butt heads because we are very
shocker.
Yeah, but it's you think you're like, I don't want him as a friend because I'm not
but
his
he's
friend.
you're his dad, he's your kid. There's that dynamic there. And I mean, it's going to change as he gets older. Right now, as he's a teenager, it's like, Dad, you don't know anything. Like, I'm way smarter than you. You listen to this music. Like, didn't you listen to like stuff in the 50s? Like that's what your kid thinks of you pretty much.
He does not. He knows
Well,
exactly when I was born.
I know he does, but he doesn't doesn't do the math to make it equate. Like he's
True.
like, you're still an old man. You're my dad. Like you don't know what cool stuff is. You're not cool. You don't know anything.
See, I
You can disagree that if
I'm not
that doesn't
disagreeing.
happen, it will. If you're not there
Fuck
yet,
no.
it will.
You know what? And that's the weird part is that weirdly enough, my kids have taken over a lot of my because I had them so young and because I had went, oh, yeah, we're gonna delete that. We're just gonna beep. I don't want but nevertheless, my son and my daughter have, because we are a lot closer than we are different, that I've explained this to you and I've explained this to a lot of other people. If you take your kids' life, specifically around entertainment, pop culture, things like that, you give it a circle. And then you yourself have your own, right? We like video games. We like a specific type of video games more than we like other things. We like to read. We're nerdy about cocktails. I'm slowly bringing you into the foodie world.
I just like food. I don't need to be called a foodie. I just like eating good stuff.
I'm working on you. I'm slowly, year after year, breaking you down.
It sounds snobby to call.
Soon you're going to be like, is that
no,
cardamom?
No,
it'll happen. You watch.
I just like eating good food. Just I like drinking good cocktails. Like why you got to put a label on it?
So
can I just be normal and just enjoy stuff?
No,
you got to make it weird.
Don't make it weird.
You do. Well, I'm gonna make you into a foodie. I don't want to be fit. No, I'm gonna get.
Have you ever eaten anything I've given you and not been like, God damn?
Yeah, but I don't go, oh man, you put blah 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 in there. I'm like, I don't care what you put in there. It's delicious. That's all.
We're just like we'll bring it back. We'll bring it back to the two circles and the point I was trying to make. But you say that, but I'll tell you a very unique experience. Me and my spouse are in Italy, and we are in northern Italy in Lake Como, which is a wonderful northern community, kind of like Kelowna, but Italian. And we go to a wine pairing tasting event. It's just cheese and wine, and
you had to be a cheese and wine.
Sure, and it was fantastic. We meet this group of Germans who also are celebrating being German and wine. But we get to know these people, wonderful humans. When I had social media, we were talking back and forth for many months. Nevertheless, we were hungry. We're like, holy God, we've been drinking wine for 4 hours. Like, we need some food. At this place, this old Italian woman was in the back, and she's like, oh, you guys are very drunk. And so that she brings us
great Italian accent, by the way.
Terrible Italian accent. Did not ever claim to be good at accents. So we go, she comes out of the back and she goes, this is a homemade lasagna. Again,
it's not getting better.
These accents are getting worse as I keep attempting them, because now I'm actually aware that I'm trying, and you stop me at any point. So she brings out this lasagna, not big portions, but enough that we could have a bite. And the group that we're with are like, oh, this is a very unique lasagna. I've never tasted anything like this. And I'm sitting there and I'm doing the wine thing. They're like, I'm like, the fuck is this? And I'm sitting there and I've got this confused look, and my spouse is doing the same. Again, full disclosure, we love that. We're very big foodies. Our life literally revolves around food.
But why do you gotta put a label on it?
Man, shut the fuck up.
All right, I'm listening to your story. Fair enough. Tell me your story.
So we get the lasagna, and the German people, they're losing their minds. This is the best lasagna we've ever had. You're in Italy, probably. And I said, I know what this is. And they're like, oh, you know what's making it unique? You know. And we're laughing because they're teasing me. And I said, watch this. So the little old woman, she goes, oh, do you like my lasagna? And I said, I said, I know what's in it. And she didn't believe me. And so, there's the go-tos, like there's hamburger, there was lasagna noodles, there was ricotta cheese. And then I said, but you use 2 distinct spices. And she's like, what do you mean? And I said, you use nutmeg and you use cinnamon. And this woman lost her shit. She hugs me. She's like, you are a correct. And she's happy. And we had this very unique moment with these people and this woman, and she brings me another piece and she's so happy. You come see my kitchen. You come see my kitchen. And I I'm not saying you have to have that experience. All I'm saying is that because I love food the way I do, I was able to have that very unique experience in a country that wasn't mine, where me and this old woman had nothing in common, but we were able to break bread over the simplicity that lasagna is, but the uniqueness of the spices she used.
And that's fair. I don't know if I'd get to the point where I can be like, oh, this has got blah, blah, blah in there. I'm like, oh, this is delicious. I'll eat some more of it.
If we're eating and you're like, tastes like there's some star anise in this, you're like, I'll lose my goddamn mind.
I will never say there is some star anise in this.
Well,
you will never, ever hear me say that.
I'm going to make an old fashioned with star anise, and then
you will still not hear me say, man, this old fashioned, there's something weird about it. I think there's some star anise in it. Like, you will never hear me say that. I'm like, yes, I still like, or oh my God, this tastes terrible. It's not good, but it's drinkable. There's that level too, right? If it's the first one, I might pour it out, but I still will not say there's some star anise in this weird ass cocktail that Justin made for me.
Nevertheless, the only point I was trying to make was that I get to have unique experiences like that I find quite fulfilling.
Fair enough. So where do your kids are like, oh, Dad, you made this lasagna for us and it has star anise in it?
Absolutely.
When have you put star anise in lasagna?
No. Not specifically that I use star anise, but I feel like the food that I cook, and I've said this numerous times, and I'm a big proponent of it, you can be a chef and you can have the artistic flair of being a chef, and that's wonderful. Kill it. Do that. Fucking own that shit. And you can be really good at it. But if you can take simple things, simple meals, and perfect them, that to me is what a true chef is. That is what. Or a cocktail.
Simple ingredients.
Full circle back to a simple cocktail.
Into
exactly.
Like very simple drink.
Sure.
Simple syrup and everything in there, no pun intended. And turn it into something completely different.
Yeah.
We talked about your go-to is Buffalo Trace for
There's no difference, by the way. There's no difference from a very good cooked meal to a perfect cocktail. They're exactly the same. Same mindset, same understanding, same complexity.
But cocktails just, I don't say
that's because you're buzzed, and that's what. Not right now, I just mean.
During the experience?
Yes.
So maybe if I've had too many cocktails and I'm out somewhere and I'm like, this tastes like there's some star anise in it.
There is.
I'm gonna say this. One time we're out and we're gonna be eating Kraft Mac, and I'm like, man, this tastes like there's some star anise in this.
I don't think
just
we're
for
gonna
you
be
to
out about eating fucking mac and cheese.
What do you mean? You've never had mac and cheese when you're out somewhere?
No.
Oh, I have.
I don't recall.
Not like Kraft Mac and cheese, but like.
Well, hopefully.
You never know. They call it their own, but dress it up a little different.
Well, it's like, again, like I find that, I guess, to come full circle to your question earlier, which is that the same characteristics and the same mindset play into cooking as much as it does cocktails. I think
I'll agree with that.
They're the same artistic expression that I love, and because I didn't start with alcohol, in fact, I didn't drink a lot of alcohol until I was probably around 21, 22 is when I really started
So you're sophisticated then at that point.
No,
You got
it was
past
just,
the Bohemian.
Bohemian
wasn't a thing
when I was in grade 12, and like I think I maybe only had a few drinks before I had graduated high school. I had, never done drugs, never participated in things, and that wasn't me. I just didn't do it. And then when I finally did decide, okay, this is what I'm going to do, and have that all go horrifically wrong and not end up doing that, my life evolved and changed after that. But what's always been apparent is that food. So it was very easy for me to fall into cocktails because for me, I appreciate it. And I've done this all over the world in 15 different countries. I look at a bartender who's really impressing me and I go, fucking own your ability to make this craft. Like, do this thing.
Surprise me.
And I have as you know, blink, blink, blinkety blink. I very rarely say no to anything. I get a euphoric high from getting myself into situations that I find unique and
sometimes those situations just find you.
Sure.
Some you go looking for, some you don't. And
there is definitely a lot I go looking for, but I mean, like, I'm probably Jim Carrey from Yes Man. I say yes way more than I say no, because for me, I don't value wealth. I don't value security. Although I save money and I have a retirement plan and I run a business, all that jazz. I am 100% hell bent on experiencing as much as fucking possible, even if I have back-to-back days where I've been up for fucking 17 hours, which, I really have FOMO, but not in a way where you're like FOMO with my friends, but FOMO that, like, I'll kick the bucket and then I just didn't say yes enough. Even though I say yes all the motherfucking time, I'm really uncomfortable if, like, I like being able to have conversations where I have these unique stories, and the longer we do this, more of them will come out. And you do too. You've traveled the world just like I have. You get these. I find myself having interesting conversations with people in situations just because I said yes.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm just out somewhere and in need of a beer.
You just standing there fucking smiling,
and I'm like,
Trevor's drunk.
I'm like, hey man, you guys got any beer for sale? I'll be out on the beach, some foreign country, and somebody sells me beer from their fridge in their backyard.
Fuck yeah!
Like, I've done that before. Like,
I've walked up to people at golf courses like that.
I smile when I'm not, other than when I'm not drinking. That's not the only time.
It's true.
And to smile more.
Okay, good point. We're learning. Good conversation. Back circles, kids. Me.
Yeah, circles.
There we go.
Circles.
So you get, because I feel like I'm so young and I really like experiencing life the way I do, we have these weird overlaps in circles of, this is you as a person circle, and this is me as a person circle. But then you get this, if you put two circles together, you get these like crescent pieces in the middle. And I call that the gray area, where
there's a specific term for it, but I don't remember.
Oh, really?
There is.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Like
Did not know that. But like video games. So that's a prime one. I like video games. It's, I don't play as much as I used to, but I do enjoy them.
Happens when you have kids.
Yeah, but my kids do.
Yep.
So we play games where we're both enjoying, whether I was there or they were there, you're enjoying it.
Yeah,
now you're doing it together and you're like, oh, that's this weird gray area where both of us are actually enjoying.
I play video games with my kids, and I get certain video games just so I can play with my kids and hang out with them. I'm like, Dad, get this video game, and I'll get something. They've got however many hours into it.
150
and I start playing, And next thing you know, I'm getting killed, I'm getting attacked, whatever game we're playing, and I'm losing my mind. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. And they're laughing their asses off. And my oldest jumps in. He's like, you guys tell dad to get a game. You want him to play with you. And then you guys go and get like, make sure he's in a spot to get his axe kicked and doesn't know what he's doing. And they're like, yeah, this is awesome. I'm like, well, I disagree.
You bastards. You sons of bitches.
But I still get to hang out with my kids, even though they get to laugh at me because I'm trying to figure out
But another
some of the
example
video
of that
games.
is football for us,
Sure.
right? We
I get to laugh at them, and
Yeah,
so
like
now the tables turn.
I have pictures of my kid in football absolutely doing ridiculous things, but you know, that having that passion for things that they enjoy, but you're also enjoying, you know, I think
That's a good way to be part of what they're
present.
doing. So it's a way to, give back in general, but just to spend some time with them.
Mhm.
Now that they're getting older, they obviously don't want to spend as much time, but I got to spend a lot of time. And like, I never played football, but I got to learn a bunch of shit and spend time with them and teach them how to do it. We both got to learn together. So it was fun. And,
Mhm.
because I'm not the one getting my ass kicked in football, so I can secretly laugh at them. But I guess now that I play video games with them, they can do the same to me.
This
So
is karma.
fair is fair, I
All
guess.
is fair in love and war. Yeah, and it's really good to see them challenge themselves. Especially like that my oldest is getting into wrestling now. Now he's like, I want to show you this move. And I'm like, okie dokie, little guy. And it's like, and then I'll defend against something that he's doing. Well, how did you know that? Oh, I don't know. I wrestled for 8 years. Like, I think I know what I'm doing.
You said you were taking wrestling, so I Googled it.
It's like Googled wrestling. Watch the YouTube video on
right.
how to wrestle.
Yeah, showed me how to do it. I got this.
Turns out sprawling and pushing on the back of the neck, very effective.
Especially for somebody that doesn't know what they're doing yet.
Yeah. So having that dynamic where you're both enjoying things definitely makes it a lot easier for instilling values in them, like to come full circle back to the like
what do you want
ideological
to
man
see? Yes.
Right.
Well, I mean, we say man, but I mean, I've got 3 boys and you've got one of each. And just instilling values that you'd like to see on your kids, from how you talk to them, how you talk to others. And I'm very cognizant when they're around and I'm dealing with other people that they're watching and paying attention. So I want them to learn a lot of that. And the same thing with football. Like, you can go out there and teach a skill, and if they're not doing it right, it can be corrected. And them learning from it. I mean, it's as important to learning from us as parents as it is other coaches and hearing somebody else say it. Because I mean, as a parent, you can say something to your kid, and another coach or another parent or somebody else says the exact same thing, like word for word what you said to your kid, and they're like, you know what so and so just said to me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, what's that? And they verbatim what you told them 20 minutes ago. And like, no way, somebody said that to you?
That's crazy.
And just like when it's your parents, they just tune it out sometimes. So it's good for some of that to be reinforced outside that sphere, that circle of what's close. But it's cool to see them as they grow and develop that. But when I look at my Spotify list and I look at their Spotify lists, there's very little crossover. There's a little bit, but it's like, I'm like, who is this? What?
That's a whole nother podcast in and of itself. Me and Jesus Christ, I did it again. I'm gonna bleep it out. It says, everybody, you're gonna have this weird gap where you're gonna not hear my kid's name, and it's gonna be habit. But me and my son actually have a playlist together, and he adds things on this playlist where I'm like, shit, yeah, let's fucking go. Like both like we have a workout mix, and he's like, yo, I turned on Spotify DJ. I got all these new songs, and I'm like, well, they're not new, but they're new to you.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, I've never filtered music ever with my kids ever. They get, if I'm in a rap mood, they get rap. If I'm in a rock mood, country mood, like I don't discriminate against genre. So
No, I don't either. When they were younger, I tried to, like, I want them to express themselves in music or whatever they find. If they want to, dress dapper, or hopefully they don't wear pajamas to the store. Might have to.
I have strict rules, and we've been over this.
I might have to kick their ass if they go to the store in pajamas. But
fuck that.
like,
you ain't leaving this house in sweatpants or pajamas.
Like when we're doing family pictures, my kids wear like white sports socks with dress pants and black dress shoes. I'm like, no, that like, so there's certain things they can't do. But when they're younger, like anything, unfortunately, rap, hip hop got censored a little bit just because the amount of swearing in it, and that was more when they're like really young. But when they got a little bit older, then I wasn't as strict about it, right? Like that's, their friends are listening to it, that's how they're defining themselves. So I get that, so I try not to have too hard of a thumb on the pulse of that. But when they're younger, I did.
And I'd agree or disagree, and that's fine. People can tell us in the comments if they want. But for me, I never filtered any of it. Never. I chose to explain the context, other than like they're like, when my kids are at home, they don't swear, even though I swear in all the music. They're swearing, and that's one example where I'm like, hey, there's a time and a place for everything. And sometimes they swear and it is perfect. Their comedic delivery is phenomenal.
Well, watching them figure that part out, that's the entertaining part.
Yes.
Is
they'll use something out of context.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's good.
It's like, that's not quite. No, Dad, you don't know. I'm like, no, I think no, Dad, all right, have at her. And now, like, my youngest talks to me, and I'm like, and I know growing up, we all had our own, like, there was slang that we all used growing up.
Yeah.
Every generation has it, and my youngest is the worst, and he's the same age as your oldest, so I'm sure it's the same. I'm like, can you speak like
a fucking human, please?
English words that make sense in a sentence? Like, you just throw out random words, and I have to, like, there's no Oxford dictionary for that, and I'm not getting a thesaurus or a dictionary for every sentence you want to tell me, because I don't know what you're saying. I'm like, tell me something so I understand.
Yeah.
And
that's funny.
It's I don't know if it was quite that way when I was. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that we said, but I don't think it's quite this. And every day it's something new, and I blame that on social media, 100%. Like, there's all weird stuff, like, straight up, no cap.
Yeah, I still don't understand. Like, I get it. I understand in principle what it means, but it's ridiculous and should not be used. Like, there is I hate those words. I hate those damn words.
Dude, but they're part of the vocabulary.
The shrinking of words too. I just like, why did that word need to be shorter? Like, I don't understand.
Well, I had my oldest tell me, this is a while back, and he's like, oh, I LOL'd. I'm like, you laughed out loud? He's like, yeah, that's what I said. I'm like, no, you didn't.
You can write it all you want, but the fact that you said laugh out loud,
but I lolled. You what? Like, speak English.
Are we? Have we slowly become those dads that are like, rabble, rabble, rabble? You jackasses.
Have we become old fashioned? Yes, we have.
Well, that's it then. We should probably just stop it there.
I guess so.
Oh shit, we finished our old fashions. We've come to the full conclusion that we are, in fact, old fashioned, and there's nothing we can do to change it.
Nope,
so
that's why we're here.
There we go. So
we'll do it again.
Absolutely. Thanks for tuning in again. We'll keep making these. Clichély, like, subscribe, fucking comments. Like, let us know. We're having fun. All right. And we're drinking cocktails. So we'll be back in 2 weeks, and then we'll do this again. Christmas time. Christmas time. Oh,
Yeah.
I did. We may or may not have some Christmas themed old fashioned / conversations in the next one. So we'll see.
Well, there is no may not. There will be.
There will be.
Yes.
Shh, you're not supposed to tell them.
Oh, sorry.
Don't tell them.
We'll edit that out.
All right. Okay. See you later, boys and girls. Oh.